What is going on? I am Cole, and I'm here today to enter a VR for Don't Forget to Save's 200 subscriber giveaway. One of the things that I really wanted to do um, with my channel was I wanted to kind of go and help build my Instagram, which if you don't follow, it'll be down below. But I've been using my Instagram to help me sell some of the books that I have. As you can see, I have a ton of comic books behind me, and sometimes you got to get rid of them. Sometimes not everything is something that I need to save or that I love. So I kind of created this channel to help promote, kind of talk about stuff that I, was having issues with, but also be able to just get on here and talk about some comic books. I know that I've done some like, how-to videos. As I started selling through Whatnot, I tried to talk about Whatnot as I use other platforms. I'll probably start talking about how I'm selling on those, what I like about those platforms. But I love to read comics and collect comics. So, whether I like to talk about, I do two comic shows most of the time. One of them is What We Get Wednesday, where I show off the books that I got. And I also do on Friday my most anticipated comics, where I kind of talk about what I'm most excited to read for the next week. That way I can kind of talk about some of the comics and I can hear what other people out in the community really like to do. So that's kind of why I created it. And as I've kind of done this and met some other people, I've kind of fallen in love too with cards. So, I am from Michigan. So I am a fan of, Michigan State for college stuff, but I also really like, most of the Detroit teams like the Lions, the Tigers, and the Pistons. So I'm starting to collect cards from there. One of the things I really enjoy collecting is some weirder stuff too. Um, but in my card collecting, I follow some of the like, Michigan State basketball players I really like. Those are kind of cards that I've been collecting. And some of the, newer football players as they come out, like Kenneth Walker is one right now where I'm trying to collect. But I also just kind of, as being a comic collector and being used to collecting these runs, I kind of, enjoy the idea of being able to go in, open some packs, rip them, and then put together a set. So I've tried to focus on some of those as we come through. I am a man that maybe has a little too many hobbies, but another thing that I am a fan of that I like to collect is, whiskey. So this is a store pick from one of the stores around here, but it is a Knob Creek whiskey. I like to drink a glass of whiskey here and there when I can. So that is another thing that I collect. I do have some Funkos. You can see some up there. Here is a Yara Flores Wonder Girl. I keep this one close because she is one of my favorites. I've tried not to get too deep into the rabbit hole of other collectibles, but I do have some. Like you can see, there's a Michael Myers NECA figure back there. And yeah, I get some loose figures here and there too. A lot of the stuff is kind of either comics or movie based of what I go through. Um, and another thing that I collected a while ago that I'm starting to kind of fall back into and loving is a vinyl collection. I don't have any near me, but I have a fairly decent vinyl collection of just some of the music, whether it be some soundtracks from shows that I like or movies that I like, to some music. I listen to everything from hip hop. I like some older country. I listen to some indie music, and I listen to rock. I have some metal albums too. So it's just kind of all over the place on whatever I like. So that's loosely kind of, what I like in my channel and the type of things that I like to collect. And this is kind of my page to show off some of that stuff. So let me know down below what you like to collect. I will also have a link to Don't Forget to Save. Make sure to go over there and check out his channel. I know that he is a card collector too, so make sure to go over there and give him a follow. As always, I've been Cole. Thank you for checking this out, and peace.